Right guys, welcome to a new video. So today's the first day on the Topstep account. Just some scalps that we took on the NQ. Nothing too crazy today, and to be honest, a little bit oversized, just purely because of the range. I adjust my sizing due to the ranges sometimes, not all the time. But the way I use these evaluation accounts is I like to try and have a good day one. I try to give myself some cushion. So we are up 2k on the day, shorting into the NQ and then buying long down here. So we also did take this in the Apex accounts as well. Sorry, Apex. I had Apex on my mind because I was just replying to someone in the room. The Lilu accounts as well. So we were long down here, selling up into the 30s. My overall target was up into this 50s, and you just had someone in my room literally just say that we completed target. So let me just show you in the main room. So thanks, Callum, for your options at Open Interest channel. By the way, NQ just reached your target. So I actually took off just because of the half day. I didn't want to be trading right up until the close. But yes, it did come up into my entry. I have another entry, which is probably going to hit tomorrow, but on Wednesday, because obviously it's a half day. So we had that trade, but we also had this pretty wild trade that I was trading the NQ on my, I have an evaluation account on, in fact, you can see it here. So I have an evaluation account on Lilu that is closed, that is coming into the renewal. So this morning, let me just show you on the other accounts. 1 second. So here's the other account on Lilu. I was trading this on just before the market open, and I wanted to see if the shorts were going to play out. So I shorted up into this area here, into the 58, and then I covered down at 1, and then I covered another at 43, then got out at break even. I then set a limit up into this area here at the 80s. Often the 80s will act as a heavy resistance, and it was also overnight resistance. I took some off initially because I went in with like 15 contracts. I basically paid myself most of the contracts, left 4 on, and then basically set my target down here on these lows and put my stop. My stop would have gone break even as soon as these targets got taken. So it was a pretty much risk-free trade, and I ended up getting 6k on the day. So you can show you my profit and loss. This is an evaluation account, so it will turn into a proper account. This will be my 5th PA account with Lilu. But you can see here, it was $6,900 just on that one trade. Like I say, this is super large size. It's not something I recommend doing, but it was my last month on my evaluation. I wasn't going to allow it to go over just because I already have 4. So yeah, it was a bit of a high risk, high reward trade, but just slowly paying myself, and then left like say 4 off and stop at break even. So I had already paid myself on these 2 trades already. So that was a pretty crazy day on the NQ. And then, like I say, I sold 5 on the Topstep account just up into this resistance area here, and then covered those down, and then took some longs down here, just some scalps. I don't normally trade like this, but because it's the holidays, it's more of a easier to scalp in these environments. So just taking some, $50 scalps here, 130 there, 230 there. Took a loss on this one, and then added down here, sold into the rips, short down here, and you can see it did ultimately go to targets, but I ended up taking off to take my dogs for a walk. But we locked in 1,800 on this account, so I need to get $9,000. I don't really want to earn any more than 2.7k a day because I have a 30%, no more than 30% on the day, which is about 2.7k. So $9,000 over about minus my 1,800. I got about 7,200 left. So if I try and average, $1,000 a day, it's about 7 days. So nothing too crazy. We'll try and get this one passed and move over to the Express account. The reason I'm using Topstep at the moment is because the payout structure is so much better than Lilu. You can pass this within 4 days, and then you've only got now 1 step. You used to have 2 steps. You've only got 1 step now to pass. You go straight into the Express funded account, and then you can take a payout within 5 consecutive green days. Sorry, 5 green days. They don't have to be consecutive. So really great payout structure. You can take up to 4 payouts a month, whereas Lilu is literally 1 a month, and it's it's capped at $2,000. So we'll go over the trades. Like I say, real nice to see them play out, and the game plan this morning. Nice to see the game plan work out. The entry that we had on the NQ was pretty much the low. So just to do a brief overview on the daily, we have our extensions tagged the 38 last week, so we already knew we were fairly bullish. We had our break and retest on our level last week at that 14,850. Today's trade was basically pretty simple. I mentioned it on the game plan this morning. So high to high extensions, we came down to the 38 and the 50 pre-market. So we had participation at those levels. We also tested those Friday on the open, Friday on the close, and then overnight, this morning open, RTH open, and you can see here we are getting that push into those levels. So the target on here is actually for 415. So this was the trade that we had marked up this morning. So down to this level, down to the 38, and then up into the ATR resistance. So you can see here we've been at basically the equilibrium in terms of the ATR for the day. If I just put the fibs on, you can see here the 50, the 62. So we were just stuck in this consolidation zone. Go down to the 5-minute time frame. We did have some shorts that were playing off in the open. Those shorts completed at my long target. So short completion at long completion. Sorry, short completion at long sort of participation. You can see all of this liquidity down here, based out, trapped some shorts on these lows. I ended up closing my position out on here, but you can see, ultimately it has gone up 50 points, which is decent. I think I got out basically break even, $65 on the day, just purely because I didn't want to get chopped in the close, because it's a half a day. So it is currently 5 minutes away from closing, and it's testing those highs. So that was the overall trade for the day. Like I say, playing off those levels, pretty simple fib extensions from last week, following the trend, down bid at the 38, extensions higher, just following the trend. So that was the overall trade. Thank you all for watching. I will continue to post these videos and the Topstep progress as well. Links to the room and everything else will be in the description below.